One moment, you were standing alone in the noise, defending yourself in your head, replaying every version of the story they twisted. The next moment, someone stepped forward, not quietly, not in private, out loud, in public, with witnesses. And now the air feels tight. Eyes are darting, screens are lighting up. People who laughed before are suddenly clearing their throats. Here's the part nobody prepares you for. When someone defends you publicly, it doesn't just protect you, it exposes everyone else. It drags old words back into the light. It forces timelines to line up. It makes memories uncomfortable. That one voice didn't raise you up as much as it shook the ground under everyone who benefited from you being silent. And now the whole city feels it. The pauses in conversation, the forced smiles, the sudden need for proof. Because the truth doesn't rush, it waits. And when it finally speaks, it doesn't need to shout. No, no, no. You weren't supposed to have backup. That was the plan. Keep you isolated. Keep you doubting your own recall. Let the whispers do the work while hands stayed clean. But something went wrong. Someone broke the pattern. Someone said your name without flinching. Said it with clarity. Said it where denial couldn't hide behind closed doors. And now, watch how fast confidence collapses when accountability enters the room. Watch how quickly the loudest voices start asking for context, screenshots, dates, anything to slow the moment down. It's almost impressive how panic dresses itself as professionalism. This is the moment they all fear but never admit. Because public defense rewrites power. It flips the angle. Suddenly you're not reacting. You're being referenced. Your silence becomes weight. Your patience becomes a threat. Every joke they made, every half-truth they repeated, every convenient omission starts lining up like dominoes, waiting for a breeze. You don't even have to move. That's the part that keeps them awake. You stand still while they scramble through old messages, old statements, old versions of themselves they forgot were saved somewhere. A poetic, in a cold, precise way. And let's be clear, this isn't about praise. It's not about being liked. It's not even about winning. It's about control of narrative. Once someone defends you publicly, the story no longer belongs to the loudest mouth. It belongs to the most consistent truth. And consistency is terrifying to people who relied on confusion. That's why they rush. That's why they over-explain. That's why suddenly everyone remembers details they forgot. Because pressure doesn't create character. It reveals it. And right now the masks are slipping in real time. Slowly. Then all at once, you might feel the urge to step in, to clarify, to soften, to rescue them from their own mess. Don't. This moment isn't asking you to speak. It's asking you to watch, to learn, to see who panics and who stays steady, who asks questions and who points fingers, who values truth and who only values being seen as right. Someone already said what needed to be said. The echo is doing the rest. Every attempt to rewrite the past only highlights how solid your ground actually was the entire time. Funny how balance feels dangerous to people who lean on lies. So stay right here with me. Because this isn't the end of the story. It's the opening scene. The moment before everything accelerates. Before names start trending for the wrong reasons. Before apologies sound rehearsed and explanations sound hollow. Someone defended you publicly. That wasn't luck. That was timing meeting truth. And now the city is searching for receipts like oxygen. We're going to talk about what this moment really gives you. Not revenge, not noise, leverage, control, and the calm that comes from knowing you never had to chase validation in the first place. Now understand what this moment actually hands you. Not applause, not safety, space. The kind of space where moves become visible, where reactions reveal priorities. When someone defended you publicly, the room rearranged itself around you. People started choosing sides without realizing they were choosing. Silence became a statement. Distance became confession. You don't need to announce anything. You don't need to clarify your position. The board is already set. Every step they take now is traceable. Every word time-stamped, every shift in tone noticed by eyes they didn't know were watching. Here's the discipline most people don't have. Restraint. They rush to capitalize. They rush to post. They rush to explain how right they were all along. That's how momentum leaks away. Power doesn't sprint. It paces. While they're busy gathering proof to protect their image, you're gathering information to protect your future. You see who calls you privately to check in. You notice who suddenly remembers your value. You feel who's nervous because they know what they said when they thought it wouldn't come back. Let them talk. Let them tidy. Let them sweat. You're not behind. You're ahead by being still. No. This is where clarity sharpens. You start separating allies from spectators. People who defend truth even when it's inconvenient. People who only speak when it's safe. Public defense doesn't just validate you. It audits your environment. It exposes who benefits from confusion and who benefits from honesty. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. Your circle gets smaller. Your standards get quieter. You stop explaining yourself to people who already decided who you were without asking. That's not bitterness. That's precision. And precision changes outcomes faster than noise ever could. Watch how narratives try to soften. It was misunderstood. It was taken out of context. We didn't mean it like that. These phrases aren't bridges. They're shields. They appear when accountability knocks, and no one wants to answer the door. Notice how quickly tone shifts from confident to careful, from bold claims to cautious wording. That's not growth. That's damage control. And here's the irony. Every attempt to minimize what happened only confirms how serious it actually was. If it didn't matter, they wouldn't be working this hard to manage it. Pressure has a way of making priorities obvious. You might feel a quiet anger rising. That's normal. It's the realization tax. The cost of seeing clearly after being doubted for so long. But don't let that heat drive your hands. Anger makes fast decisions. Strategy makes lasting ones. Channel it into boundaries, into memory, into choosing who gets access to you moving forward. You don't need to punish anyone. Life does that through patterns. People repeat themselves when they think you're not paying attention. Now you are. And that awareness is more corrective than confrontation ever was. Keep it contained. This is where your posture changes. You walk differently. Speak less. Listen more. Not because you're afraid, but because you've learned the value of timing. You understand that being defended publicly doesn't mean you're suddenly visible. It means you're suddenly undeniable. And denial makes people reckless. They overshare, they contradict themselves, they leave trails where there used to be shadows. All you have to do is remain consistent. Consistency turns time into an ally, and time is patient with people who don't panic. So let the city scramble. Let them search for receipts and reassurance and excuses. You don't owe them relief, you owe yourself direction. In part 3, we're going to talk about how to move from this moment without burning bridges or shrinking yourself. How to turn public defense into quiet authority. How to let outcomes speak louder than statements. Stay steady. Stay observant. This isn't chaos. It's correction. And you're standing right in the center of it, calm enough to choose what comes next. Now it's time to take what just happened and turn it into leverage. Not revenge, not attention, real leverage. You've seen who reacts, who panics, who overcompensates. You've seen who hides behind excuses and who steps forward when it counts. That's your roadmap. Every name, every tone, every hesitation, they all tell you where influence lies. And influence, when used wisely, doesn't shout. It shifts quietly. Subtlety is the weapon most people never learn to wield. Here's the key. Observation beats action. Every single time. Everyone scrambling for receipts is leaving traces. You don't need to chase them down. Don't rush to comment. Don't feel the need to defend further. Let their urgency fill the gaps they left open. Let their own words and mistakes do the work for you. When someone publicly defends you, it forces attention. But attention without strategy is chaos. Calm observation turns that chaos into clarity. A clarity is dangerous when people aren't expecting it. Now start defining your boundaries. Public defense is not an open invitation for scrutiny. It's a spotlight showing you who values truth over convenience. You decide who gets in your circle, who deserves information, who needs accountability. You don't have to explain. You don't have to justify. Your presence, your history, your consistency, they speak louder than any explanation could. Let them keep searching. Let them keep trying. You're not participating in their scramble. You're leading from the stillness. No. This is where you transform reputation into authority. Authority isn't earned by noise. It's earned by reliability, by patience, by letting the world reveal itself through its own reactions. People are testing limits, testing loyalty, testing your response. And if you remain measured, strategic, and calm, their attempts to unsettle you only reinforce your position. Every contradiction, every exaggeration, every desperate proof they produce, it all builds your narrative without a single word from you. Ironic, isn't it? Next, recognize opportunity in chaos. When the city scrambles for receipts, you gain insight. Patterns emerge. People reveal what matters most to them. Who protects lies? Who protects truth? Who bends to social pressure? And who stands firm? That knowledge, quiet, precise, is more powerful than confrontation. You don't need to chase influence. You only need to recognize it, understand it, and navigate it with intent. And intent. Intent has a way of reshaping everything around it. Finally, move forward with patience. The public defense has already shifted dynamics. The scramble continues, but your role has changed. You're no longer the one reacting. You're the one observed. You're the calm center while the world around you jumps. That's the leverage. That's the authority. That's the silent power everyone underestimates until it's too late. Don't rush. Don't push. Let the aftermath prove your value. And when you choose your next step, do so deliberately. Let your presence, your consistency and your foresight do the talking. So take a breath. Let them chase their receipts. Let them spin their stories. You've already won the hardest part. Someone believed in you publicly. That moment isn't just a shield, it's a lens, a way to see clearly, a way to act intentionally. And now, with eyes wide open, you're ready to turn chaos into strategy, scrutiny into understanding, and attention into quiet authority. The city is watching. Good. Let them. You've got the blueprint. And the real game? It starts now. Now you feel it. The city's noise is rising, but you're above it. Not distant, not indifferent. Observant, strategic. Every move they make, every hastily typed message, every forced public comment, it all writes itself into your advantage. You don't need to shout. You don't need to explain. You need patience. Patience is the silent predator, and right now it's circling. See, this is where the real power hides, in restraint. In the calm that lets others reveal their truth without you asking. While they chase validation, you collect clarity. People think they can manipulate situations with screens, receipts, and timestamps. But the truth? It doesn't hide. And anyone who's ever tried to twist it in your absence is now revealing themselves. Every stumble, every hesitation, every slip. It's information. Pure, raw, actionable information. And it's yours to wield quietly. Don't mistake this for revenge. It isn't about them. It's about you. About knowing your ground, protecting your energy, and letting life precise, unsparing life do what you cannot force. Bridges that are worth crossing will hold. Bridges that are toxic will collapse without your touch. You see the difference now because someone dared to speak your name publicly. That act alone filtered everything else. No. Don't ignore it. Respect the signal. Respect the shift. And here's the secret most people overlook. When defense happens in public, your credibility multiplies silently. People who once doubted you now question themselves. People who tried to rewrite history now scramble to reconcile. Your quiet confidence becomes louder than their noise. And if you move correctly, you don't just survive the chaos, you guide it. Direction doesn't always require words. Timing doesn't always require explanation. The art of stillness is underrated. So how do you step forward? With eyes wide open. With awareness sharp enough to detect deception and clarity strong enough to hold your ground. Engage only when necessary. Respond only when impact matters. Speak only when your words carry weight that can't be ignored. The city may still search for receipts. Let them. They'll find what you've already mastered. That power isn't in exposure. It's in understanding. And understanding, it cannot be faked. This is the stage where you transition. From the protected to the proactive. From the observed to the observer. Every public defense is a lesson in leverage. Every reaction around you is a map. Every overreaction is a doorway. Walk carefully, but walk deliberately. Let the storm unfold around you while you remain anchored, because storms eventually pass. What remains after the storm is always more telling than the storm itself. By the time the city realizes what truly happened, you've already moved. Not with noise, not with vengeance, not with desperation, but with precision, with insight, with an understanding that being defended publicly was never about them. It was about giving you the opportunity to see clearly, to act wisely, and to hold space where truth cannot be denied. Let them scramble for receipts. You're already rewriting the narrative without lifting a finger.